G'day folks, and welcome back to Metal Mania 3D TV. I'm KC, and in today's show we've got this little Holden Barina to do up for one of our elders in the community. She's an awesome lady. She came and checked on us quite regularly when I was in and out of hospital, and also more so when CC had a heart attack. And so we're going to bring a car back to life for her. And so what we'll do is we'll get in and show you this here. I won't bore you to death like the Astra and showing you me cleaning it all the time, because we've got a few messages saying, you know, do always seem that someone wash your car, so we won't be doing that anymore. And so firstly, I'd like to say a big warm welcome to our new subscribers and viewers, and also our old faithful subscribers. We hope you're all doing okay in your part of the world today. Right, as you can see, the front fender there, right hand front one, it's got a few nasty dings in it there, so we're going to fix that. That looks bad, but it is, but the eyebrow isn't that bad. We're going to fix all of the scratches on the bumper, so we're going to paint it. We're going to repaint the bonnet, and we're also going to repaint the roof, because the roof's really badly faded. And I'll show you a few techniques when we get to those there by photos. Instead of filming a lot of stuff, I'll show you how we can move those rubber seals around without getting paint edges and having to pull them all out. And we have to take the antenna off there, and the strips there will mask up, because there's plenty of good gap there beside them there as well. And we're going to fix the tailgate here, which is she accidentally bumped into something, and a few other little minor scratches. We're going to give it a really good pressure wash, because it is actually quite grubby, and when I'm painting and putting clear on, you can always guarantee that the dirt will come out when you're putting the last clear coat on. So we'll clean all of this up. It's got a few dings here down on the front left hand front fender. This one here doesn't have that much damage, but it's got a lot more work, because it's got the damage here around the eyebrow, which is all twisted out of shape, as opposed to this one here. This one here is still in pretty good nick around the eyebrow. It's got a damage up further. So these Tupperware cars, yeah, I've probably be the last few Tupperware cars that I fix until I get onto my 59 console ute. There's the pressure washer there, getting ready to get work. There's a few dings there on the quarter panel and the door there, but we're not going to worry about them this time around. Otherwise, if we keep going the way we're going, we're going to end up respraying the whole car. So I'll show you that the reason why I wash and pressure wash it is because you see all of this up the top here. You can guarantee you, when you paint the roof, all of that stuff there is going to blow out, because we'll mask that off, because there's no paint going in there, but we'll mask that off. But if I don't clean it, you can guarantee, as sure as eggs, it'll all come out in the last clear coat. And when you spray it in 2-pack, I don't want to be de-nibbing it and rubbing it back and polishing it, because I can get it shiny enough, a lot more shiny than what the car is. And we'll clean all of this stuff up in here. As you can see inside, all of the door jambs, all of that stuff there and all up and around there. We'll clean all of that up and down and around there, and then we'll show you that once we've cleaned it all, what a difference that all makes. And yeah, once we've got it cleaned, then we'll sand the roof back and get it in primer, and we'll sand the bonnet back and get it in primer. Hopefully there's no little dents, but if there is, I'll just use some 2-pack putty, which is very light, soft stuff, and you can put that in the little minor dents, and it rubs down quite easily, and it'll stick the paint successfully. But we'll have to do a few repairs there and hammer and dolly all of that out there, and the same on the other side. Alright, so let's get in, we'll get it cleaned, and next time you'll see it, she's clean, and then we'll get into different stages. And as you can see, wow, that hasn't been cleaned for a long time, but coming up, I just showed you the photos before of what that looked like. And there we go. That's just a quick cleaner, just to get most of the stuff off, because you can guarantee when you start spraying paint, that stuff just blows out everywhere. But that's that looking all cleaned up. And we'll show you inside the door jambs now that we've cleaned all of those out. They all look plenty clean and tidy now, with no cobwebs anywhere. All the lichens off it all over the place. So it's looking like a new little car. So we only cleaned it. But yeah, you can see all of that up there is all gone now. All nice and clean, which is good. And same around all of these doors here, all the outer doors. You can see all of them are all nice and clean. And the same as the door jambs in here on all of the doors. Same as on the front here. Big difference. Alright, we'll show you the outside. It looks a lot better clean with all of the stuff off. A lot of the loose paint came off with the pressure washer, which was good. like I was saying, they're not going to waste my time showing you me washing the car. People don't want to see you washing the car. But the bonnet there, it's still a little bit wet, but it is patchy. And the roof's a bit wet, but it's really still really patchy. So that's all right. We'll run the sander over that and the top of the tailgate here. And we got rid of all the lichen that was off it there. And all of that cleaned up all the way along the back. So there we are. Alrighty, so what we'll do now is we'll get organised. Well, we get the repairs on the way now, getting the sanding and knock the dings out of the guards and the rear bumper. There's another project there. That's the only damage on that one. That's an easy one. And it'll go up there and we'll start working on it. Righto, we've got to all pull the bits. I did all of this off camera. Otherwise it would have been R-rated more than Conan the Barbarian. These stupid steel clips and with plastic nuts that are on rusted bolts. So I can be able to get up underneath all of that there now and get inside all of this, because these are just like tin foil, these things. So yeah, we've got all the hardware off there and that there ready to knock all of that dent out there and fix that. And the bumper bar, we had to take it off, or took it off. Half the mounts were broken. It was only held on by little 8mm nuts up the top of the grill just here. And on the back there, that was all that was holding on. All the bottom mounts are all broken off, and so was that air dam vent. It's an absolute mess. And this here too, we'll be able to get to that there now with the headlight out. And all the headlight blocks were all broken, so I'll have to order them from GMH. And I don't know whoever was the designer that designed these plastic flares with steel bolts and plastic nuts. And when the steel bolts rust, you can't get them off without breaking things. And the guard liner that came off, which is just over there, it's all held on by one-off used clips. I had to going to put all new clips on there, of course. I knew that anyway, but just the headlight's got a broken mount there. I'll have to patch that up for her because she can't afford a lot. So there we go, we've got all of that stripped down, and we've also got all the hardware taken off the tailgate so I can get in there and knock that ding out up in there. You can see it all in there. The good part about that is where this is, not the good part that it's got the dent, but the good part where that is there is it's pretty clear in here. I can get to it, so I'll be able to knock a lot of that out without putting hardly any fill on it, which will be a good thing. And I took all the hardware off here, so when I paint it, because I'm only going to paint that corner of the tailgate there up to here basically. I'll blend in here. People just, otherwise I've got to take all of these badges off, and it's going to be bad enough with that there, so I've got to keep that repair away from that badge just there. But yeah, we'll do it anyway. And as you can probably see how bad the roof is now. You can see why that needs done on the top of the tailgate there. Alright, next update will be into repairs and then getting the primer done. And as you can see the faded parts on the bonnet, which is that's why the bonnet needs painting, and also up that roof there, shocking. But yeah, unfortunately CC can't help me with filming, and it's winding. It's just so windy, and I just can't afford another device to fall over on the stand and smash. It cost me over $1,200 last year. Alright, let's keep getting into it. Now, well, as you can see, started pouring down the rain. I've got the dents knocked out. You can see that one there on the left hand front fender. I've got all of that back to shape, and just going on in here, we can't take this out in the rain. And I've got that mudguard all back into shape there. Now the rain's only just briefly spitting just there roughly, so I'll show you how much we've got all that all shaped out there. Need a little tiny bit of filler, not a lot. If you're a panel beater, you shouldn't be using a truckload of filler. And there's the tailgate there, so we'll run the whizzer over it and get it prepped up and get a bit of filler in there and get it blocked back and get it into primer. Oh, the rain stopped for a bit, so I'll just wipe that off there and give you a look at it there. And the gaps are nice between the fender and the bonnet on that side, and the gaps are nice on this side here now, and it's looking pretty good there. So we run the sander over, it will be right. The same as I've dried all this off here now, so we'll get back into it. Okay, so we've got this one here ground back just for a little bit of filler, looking better again already. And then around this side here, we've got this all shaped back now, looking good. I'll go up close so you can see. Only a little bit of filler needed to go on these spots here now. That one up there, unfortunately, if I was in a panel shop, they've got a ring gun, so we weld a little ring to there and you pull it out with a slide hammer. I can't get behind there because of the top of the skirt rails in there. And there we go, and there's a little trick there, bit of wire up there to push the rubber out of the road. Most shops would have quoted to take the glass out of the back door for this. I had to take all the hardware off because I would have been able to pull all of that out if I was in a shop with a ring gun and a slide hammer. Alright, so let's get some filler on there. Righto, we've got the filler in on that side. I know it's only filler, but it's looking better every time. And then of course we've got the filler in on this side. The sun's back out, which is a good thing because I need it to dry this off. And then we've got the bit of filler in the back here, so we'll get organised to sand all this down. It's always better to put a little extra than a bit less, otherwise then you got to go and redo it again. Probably have a couple of pinholes, but that's easily fixed. Righto, we have gone down. As you can see through a lot of it there, so there's not a lot on there. And we've got that in there, got a couple of little pinholes that you can see that we'll fix up. And then I'll go around to this side here, and you can see, you can practically see through that filler. So all it was doing is just filling the little imperfections and the little ripples in there that I want to get out. So I've got a little low spot there and got a couple of pinholes in there I need to fix up. Then we'll get that in the primer and I'll get onto the tailgate. Righto, there we go. That sand down there is just a few pinholes. You might be able to see it there. It's just the light shining in the wrong direction with the sun this time of the day now. And yeah, just a couple of pinholes there, and then we'll get all of these in spray putty. Alright, I've got all the pinholes done, and that's the first coat of spray putty. It's not a lot, and there, it's in the shade. It's hard at the moment, the sun's all over the place. And then we'll get to the tailgate. It's looking pretty good. Alright, keep cracking along. Right, I've got the guide coat on now, so I'll let that dry the rest of the day. So the day's just about over. And let that all dry, and when we'll rub it all down tomorrow. And then we'll get the surface primer on there, and then we'll get onto the colour. Alright, another day. Okay, I forgot to film the damage before I started sanding it, and so I'll put a few photos up in the top left hand corner there. Badly scratched and gouged there. We'll clean all of this other stuff off that you can see here before we do any more work to it there, and clean it up and repair all of those scratches there. And also these are cracks here where I'm pointing to down there. Should have been a new bar cover really, but you can't afford a lot, so we're just going to tidy it up for the meantime. But if we can get a new bar cover, it will be a lot better for her car and also for the appearance of it. So righto, we'll keep cracking along and getting into it. I know you're probably thinking I've already showed you this, but I've blocked all of that spray putty down, and then that's primer with the guide coat now. So all the areas will be left now to dry for a few days, and then we'll rub all of that back, and then we'll start getting organised with the colour. But that'll probably be in another video, so because Sandra needs the car back, so we'll have to get organised to get that there. And that's just there to stop all the overspray so it doesn't go in the engine and all that sort of stuff. Righto, so I went to put the headlights back in, and the seal's broken. So it's on. I just went and checked the other side, and it's the same. So we're gonna have to reseal those lenses back in there, and the water's been getting in there for some time because it's damaged the reflector on quite a lot of spots, and I've just wiped all the cobwebs out of there. So I'm gonna have to reseal both of these headlights up and glue them before I can put them back in. Okay, we've got all the fillers sanded down and all feathered out, is what we call it. They're smoothed off there, and the same on the other end there. I've just got to put a little bit of filler there up the top there. And we also spray plastic primer all over this bumper repairs before we start putting any primer or filler on it. As you can see, we've got all of the filler putty put on there for the first time round on that corner there, and we will scrub all that other stuff off. And on the other corner there, you can still see the cracks, but actually it doesn't look too bad now that all of the scratches are gone. But we'll keep tidying it up, and I'll put a guide coat on there, and we'll be able to make it look a lot more presentable than what it was. It was in very bad shape. There's a big piece missing off the bottom of that bumper. Now we've got a guide coat here now, so that way when we rub it all down, we know where we've rubbed it. We know we've rubbed it nice and smooth, and it turns out nice and clean and smooth, so that way when we put the colour on it, it'll look like brand new again, besides the cracks, unfortunately. Okay, so we've resealed all the headlights now, and we've given them 24 hours to dry, so I should be able to take the band-aid off, masking tape, and should be able to get it all fitted back together. Righto, so we're going to fix this headlight mount here. As you can see, it's broken, And this is just the right size aluminium strip to fit in there. We just got to curve it so it fits in there nicely and fits up in the end, and we'll be able to glue that into place there, and also drill a couple of small pop rivets into there to pop rivet that in place to give it strength. And then we, because you can only get brand new headlights from Poland, which is $84 plus $192 shipping, and you can't get them in Australia. And we found a second-hand one, and then we talked to the bloke and asked him did he have a left-hand side there. He didn't have any, and I wasted a half a day trying to ring wreckers everywhere to find one. You can't get them. And these are glass, which is, you know, quite unusual. 90% of them are all plastic today. So I'll make a little template there with masking tape, and then I'll pull that masking tape and put that on the aluminium strip, and then we'll be able to curve it so it'll fit in there nicely. Now, as you can see, it nicely fits in there. I've got the mark there to cut it on an angle, but what I will do before I cut it into a small piece, I'll actually drill this hole here into the plate, because it's a lot easier to hold a big piece in the vise as opposed to putting a little tiny bit hanging onto it. And we'll drill the little 1/8 rivets there to go in on this end here, and we'll glue it up. Okie dokie, there we go. All lines up, nice hole there. Now we're just going to do the 2 little holes at the glass end here. Boom, boom, and we'll pop rivet and glue it together and get the headlight back in. Righto, there we go. She's on. And the clamps are just there, just holding it in place here while I've got the glue, and I put it out in the sun, and then the sun goes behind the cloud. Happy days. Alright, terrible power steering pump noise, but headlights are in, all the lights are all good and go, parkers are all going, all the gaps are looking good. Happy days. Right, let's get the bumper on. Righto, we've got the exterior temperature sensor all repaired. As you can see, we see all that white stuff there. We've had to glue it all back together because hitting wallabies and wildlife in Tasmania is just at night time. You can never avoid it, unfortunately. So we've got all of that back together. It was in about 8 pieces, but that should work again now. Plus we also repaired all of these. These were all bent right around. That's always what happens when you hit wildlife down the bottom there. Straightened all of these here, but the bits off the bumper bar that connected there, they're all missing. Now you can see why we need a new cover. Okay, there we go. We've got all the front end back on. Everything fitting up. Won't put that flare on there until we paint it, because I've got to find another flare for it, because it's got all the broken mounts off the back, so you can't actually bolt it back on. But that's all the front there done, and we'll give it another pressure wash and clean that front bar and that other bit there, and give it another wash to wash all the dust and everything off it, and put the number plate back on, and it should be right to take it. And we've got all the hardware put back on the tailgate. It's all ready to go, so it only needs to be, I know I've got to pull it all off again, but that's life. We're used to that in the panel industry. And we'll get it washed and get the all ready to go. Alright, there we are. That's where we're up to so far, and Sandra will be able to pick a car up today and use it, and then stay tuned for part 2. But I'll just give you a look around. I'll give her a bit of a quick detail for her, and cleaned it all up, make it a little bit tidier, and the headlights don't fog up anymore because I just gave it another wash to get all of the dust off it, and it's looking pretty alright now so far. So once we get the paint work done on the roof, bonnet, hood, and the left and right front fenders and the tailgate, won't look too bad, I don't think. It'll look a nice tidy car. We're going to do the rear bumper for her as well. We'll paint that while we're painting the front bumper, and there we have it. Turned out alright, I think. Looking a bit more tidier now than what it was, and just bearing in mind that this lady's in her 85, so you know, you can't expect the lady. I hope I'm still able to get around as good as Sandra gets around for an 85-year-old, I tell you. But yeah, so we hope you've enjoyed part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, where we're doing all the paint work and everything else. And do me a favour and hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up, or even leave a comment. We really appreciate it. We always answer everyone, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Please share, like, subscribe. Take care, look after yourselves. We'll catch us again on the next one. Bye for now.